Hey, what's up, guys? So I've been getting a lot of questions on Facebook and Instagram about divorce and how do we tell Renee about the divorce and co-parenting and a lot of questions about this topic. So I thought I'd just do this video to share my experiences with everybody. I just want to make it clear that I'm no expert in this field, but I've gone through a fair bit, and me and Jamie have learned a lot, and we're just sharing our experiences. First of all, when the both of us decided not to be together, it was really important that we realized one fact, that even though the parents can't be together, it doesn't mean that the relationship with the child ends. It's sort of like a triangle, you know, like a relationship between husband and wife and child, and husband and child. It is an individual tangent. Okay? So just because your relationship ends doesn't mean that your relationship with your child ends. So we knew from the get-go that we needed to strengthen our relationship with Renee, and I guess we tried really hard and did our best to cultivate a very, very healthy relationship between father and daughter and mother and daughter. Well, pretty much we were straight up about it. We told her daddy and mommy decided to not be together, but that doesn't change anything with her. We continually made her feel love. We made sure that she knew that she was loved. In fact, we tried to get some positives from the negatives, and we put a spin on it. For example, we told her that now you've got 2 places to stay, 2 bedrooms, 2 sets of toys, 2 sets of clothes. You also have like 2 sets of books. And on top of that, you will now have more time with daddy individually and more time with mommy individually. Jamie's a great mom, and she has activities with Renee that really enriches her. I have a lot of activities with Renee as well, and we have so much fun. So we take a positive from a negative, and what's really, really important is that we showed her on a daily basis how much she was loved by both parents, and that, I guess, you know, made sure that she turned out really, really balanced. Well, me and Jamie agreed on joint custody because we both wanted to spend a lot of time with Renee. Growing up, both me and Jamie didn't have dads, so I guess this was really, really important that both parents had enough time with her. So we agreed on joint custody, and we worked out a timetable, and we've been sticking by the timetable ever since. Well, me and Jamie co-parent in terms of a wonderful schedule. We communicate it really, really well. So for Renee, basically it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. She gets to be with me, and on Friday she gets to stay overnight with me. Now, we also recognized very early on that she needed a very strong base and a very strong routine. And kudos to Jamie for that, because she came up with that. And that's why she figured that it's best that if Renee sleeps the whole entire week at her home. That's why I only get the afternoons, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we spend time doing activities, you know, going to the park, doing homework. We have tuition together as well. But that strong base shows that she gets to be home at night, going to bed at the same time. Also on top of that, like eating at the same times. And every Friday, it's kind of like a treat because she's like camping at my place, and sometimes we actually do pitch a tent. And on Saturday mornings, we'll have prata. Now, Renee eats prata every Saturday morning, but it's only once a week, so it's quite cool. And she looks forward to it. And there's something to look forward to. There's a very, very strong base. I think that's why she turned out really, really rounded. First of all, you cannot complicate the conversation. The conversation is about your child, is about your children. So make sure there's plenty of communication. You guys are communicating about schedules, who pays for what, who's sending who, you know, for tuition, for lessons, for extracurricular activities, making sure that it's fair both ways as well. On top of that, I guess you should never badmouth the other parent, because you never know what a child is feeling when she hears about something that mommy's saying about daddy or daddy's saying about mommy, and it is not her job or duty to process all that. It is your job as parents to process that, and her job is just to be the best kid that she can possibly be. So make sure you don't badmouth each other. That's really, really important, and you just provide your child with a really nurturing and loving childhood. Well, everybody will have disagreements about something sooner or later. Like, you don't agree with the other parent's way of bringing up the child or some activities or whatever. But more often than not, I guess we agree to disagree, and we never put each other down. or we will never say things like, oh, your dad did a stupid thing, your mommy is doing a terrible job. You know, we would never do anything like that. We actually came up with a term called Team Renee. Even if things between us are not great, but we are always on the same team for Team Renee, which means whatever we're doing, whatever we're deciding, whatever the issue or the complications, we're still all on the same team, and we want what's best for Renee. And in the end, because the both of you are on Team Renee, you will find a consensus somewhere to give and to take. It's okay to agree to disagree, but at the same time, just remember you're trudging in the same direction. Absolutely, she springs it upon us during meal times or driving times or whatever, but we always tell her the truth. Mommy and Daddy are not together because we can't communicate, but nothing has changed. We still love you, and individually, from mommy to daughter, daddy to daughter, nothing has changed. We just shroud her with love, and we surround her with love, and we keep talking to her, and we communicate with her. Yeah, sometimes she might say a little bit of a fib here and there. So I remember a time when she says, hey, mommy said that I can eat chocolate. But little did she know that I will actually call mommy and say, mommy, did you say that she can eat chocolate? And then mommy says no. Then I'll take her to task and say, Renee, are you lying? And over time, Renee started to know that, hey, actually mommy and daddy are talking. I cannot tell any fibs. I cannot make up any stories. And I just have to be truthful. And because of this style of communication and because of this style of transparency, I guess, you know, Renee now knows that she cannot play with daddy and mommy. In fact, Jamie calls me all the time and she asks whether I said certain things. Because sometimes when you're talking to a child may take a sentence and misconstrue it and it becomes something else. If the parents don't clarify it, then the mommy will be thinking, how can daddy say such a thing? You know, and the daddy's thinking, how can mommy say such a thing? So it's really, really important to clarify, just for the child's sake, and also just for the sanity of everybody, I guess. Well, Jamie's a great disciplinarian. I guess between the two of us, like, I'm a little bit more lenient, but we each play our roles. Jamie is the disciplinarian when it comes to like food, getting changed, fixing your hair, cleaning up the mess. I'm the disciplinarian when it comes to like telling fibs, when there's something to do with character or something that's a little bit more serious. In fact, Renee is really, really scared whenever her mom tells her that your daddy's going to have a word with you. Oh, she freaks out. So for half an hour, I think the preconceived notion of what's going to happen with daddy freaks her out more than the actual talk itself, but the lesson is learned in the end. We both think discipline is really, really important, but it's necessary to be on the same page. We don't cane Renee very often. In fact, I remember just probably caning her once in her life, or twice. But because of those experiences that she got, she remembers it, and she's always on the right side of the law, and her morals are great. She's turning out to be a really, really great child because of the fear factor, I guess. But you spare the rod, you spoil the child, and it's really, really important to be on the same page for both parents. Also, if you could like come up with a rule, like who's handling what part of the discipline, I guess it makes it a lot easier as well. First of all, both me and Jamie are so thankful that Renee has turned out this way. She's such a happy child. I remember she had a birthday party recently, and the host of the birthday party actually asked all the kids, what do you guys like about Renee? And everybody shouted, because she's kind, because she's gentle, because she's loving, because she takes care of all of us, and we are just so thankful for it. So how did we do it? I think besides surrounding her with love and surrounding her with a lot of positive things and lessons and everything else, it's also very important to do what you're good at. Like Jamie is really, really good at organizing play dates, really good at her taking care of her in terms of like her clothes, what she eats, her diet, making sure that she's healthy, she's well cleaned, well groomed. I'm really good at teaching her like math, life skill. I also teach her how to be rough and tumble in the mud, in the grass. Jamie prefers not to be in the mud, so I take on that role, you know. I teach her soccer, I teach her hand-eye coordination. Jamie teaches her how to dance, how to sing, how to be happy. And I think us coming up with different strengths as well as weaknesses, actually us imparting those things to Renee has actually made her to what she is today. And really big kudos to Jamie for playing this part and you know, getting Renee to where she is today. She's not allowed to date till she's 30. I was kidding about that, but we talk a lot about plans, but we actually take it pretty much a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. In terms of a longer plan, you know, we want to be sure that she finishes primary school, then which secondary school she's going to go to. In fact, I'm so much of a nomad that I'm ready to move to whichever secondary school that Renee moves to, so that she can be near her school and she can come home anytime after school and not be so tired in terms of traveling and stuff. So I guess we do talk about her future and plans, as well as money and finances and more. But you know, it's important to do it. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's always important to keep the communication open, especially the day-to-days. I think if you look at life, life is just about the day-to-days. It's about the building blocks. So if you're able to settle small things at a time, and if you look back at her life, everything has come to fruition. Like once in a while, Jamie will tell her Renee's behaving a certain way, and sometimes when Renee is with me and she's behaving a certain way, first of all, we correct the behavior, and then me and Jamie have a talk. We always ask, why do you think she's behaving that way? Why do you think she did that to a classmate? Why do you think she's being this way to a teacher? And then we try to find out the underlying reason. Maybe we're not showing her enough attention. Maybe we're showing her too much attention. But we communicate it once again, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. But I'm very, very thankful that these episodes are few and far between. I mean, when she was younger, she had a few more episodes, but as she's getting older and older, she's just developing and maturing into this really awesome young lady, and those problems are, you know, long gone. You know, the truth is, I do feel guilty about that, but I think we're doing our best, and that's what's really important. It's important to keep the guilt in check as well, because you don't want to overcompensate in buying her things and over-pampering her. She might turn out like a rotten child. I think it's also important to know that your child will be okay, and you guys will be okay as well. Even though I am guilty, but the important thing is that I know me and Jamie are trying our best. We're giving her everything that we've got, and we're trying as hard as we can to give her a normal childhood, even though we're not together. But we're just heartened by how she's turned out, and you know, how she'll be okay. Renee has a very, very clear sense of what is right, what is wrong, where the line is, and I think her moral compass is so strong because both parents are working on it together. And if both parents have the same objective, Team Renee, like insert your child's name there, Team Brandon, Team John, Team Mary, I think you guys will do it. You guys have to remember that you're on the same team, and you're doing it, and you're trying to be the best parent you can be for your child. If you're going through a separation or a divorce, I know that you're going through a real tough time. But you need to know one thing, that you will be okay. Your kid will be okay. Focus all your attention on your child, and super important, you need to focus your attention on yourself as well. Become version 2, become version 3, become version 4. Be a better version of yourself. You need to know that everything's going to turn out fine, and one day you will be okay. Just get through every single day, and soon you'll realize that you'll be stronger for it. I went through a tough time. I came out stronger. If I did it, so can you. So rebuild yourself and be okay again, for your family and for yourself.